You're listening to the Soju Sessions, episode 31 on the Soju Talk Nation podcast feed. I'm your host, Crispy, also known as Crispy Wonton or simply just Anton, and on today's episode, Koala returns to the show for a chill conversation. You know, catching up on how things are going, what shows she's been watching, what music she's been listening to, and just an overall life check-in. It's really cool just to have the OG co-host back on the show. We all know that she's been busy, being an influencer over in Europe. So really glad that she was able to make the time, to come on the show and catch up. Coming up, my chat with Koala on the Soju Sessions. Returning back to Soju Sessions, the clown herself, the influencer traveling all across Europe, doing all sorts of things, and apparently baking and filming a baking vlog for all of her fans and eating chestnuts, is Koala. Welcome to the show, Koala.
This was not necessary.
Well, what are you eating right now? Let everyone know.
Chestnuts.
What drove you or inspired you to bake these chestnuts and have them for your afternoon snack, I suppose?
Because it's autumn. I always eat chestnuts around this time because they're also like a typical Christmas market snack thing. So, yeah.
So your snack selections are seasonal. You like to be thematic with what you're eating, is what I'm hearing.
I can't get them outside of this season for a reasonable price.
All right, fair enough. Well, I guess if the price is dictating the reason why you're eating it, that does make a lot of sense. All right, well, it's been a long time since we've had you on any of the shows, and I wanted to do a life catch-up. So, how are you? How's it going? And what have you been up to?
I've been up to a lot of school, and that's basically it. I was able to catch up on my dramas though, so I was able to binge watch a ton of them the past days. It felt really good to just finally finish stuff and just not think about school, even though I know that I have upcoming projects. But it felt good. A lot of crying, a lot of wholesome plots. Beautiful.
All right, what are the dramas you caught up on?
I watched Move to Heaven. It's a Netflix original. I believe it's number one on my drama list, rating wise. The thing is, I watch a lot of C-dramas, but I don't remember their names. For my Move to Heaven, though, it's about the main character is autistic. I think he has Asperger's syndrome, and he's working at a trauma cleaning place with his father, and the story just shows the history of the diseased people, and it's very heartwarming and touching, and it also has one main plot that you're following, but you always get to experience the side stories of the characters that have died before and those places he's cleaning. For the C dramas, I really don't remember any name right now. I have rewatched the first 3 episodes of Weightlifting Kimbok Judo. I think you know that one.
All right, hold on. So why have you gone back into this for the 8th time? Explain, because I love it and I do want to watch it again sometime. But why have you come back to it about 8 times?
Sometimes you just need a show where you're sure that you will enjoy it. Because for the current shows, they are super long, and my expectations are also super high, and I don't think I can make them. I have so many dramas still on hold that I need to finish, but just because they are so long, and I have to actually pay attention to understand the storyline. It's super hard if you just want to just chill and just consume stuff.
It takes a mental commitment to watch something new. I totally understand that. Shout out to Lee Sung Kyun. pronouncing is very hard at 8 in the morning. I apologize to all the people who just had to listen to that. And Nam Ju Hyuk.
Hyuk.
Yep, he's very handsome. She's very attractive and pretty, and but she plays a character who is very frumpy and very clumsy and hilarious. And God, it's such a good drama. If you don't know it,
It's great.
go watch it. It's been out for a couple of years. The title kind of explains it all. She is a weightlifting athlete in college. She's very awkward, but it's her coming of age story, finding out about life and love and the ups and downs that come along with it, as well as friendship. So,
It,
yeah,
it's great. I can always recommend it.
it really is a nice entry level K drama if you want the wholesomeness of coming of age, of that transitional period from college to adulthood, right? I think it's a nice show for younger audiences.
Yep.
For older audiences, there are some things that you can attach to. I mean, there are two characters who are very much like in their adult lives. One's a
I mean,
doctor, and well, but they're both
I
doctors, right?
remember I remember you crying and you're 90 years old, so you were able to relate.
I don't know
That
what you
says a lot.
mean. I don't appreciate these lies and slander. And just because it may sound like someone's crying doesn't mean they're actually crying. It could be allergies.
Oh yeah, that's my like excuse for everything.
It was during the summertime or springtime, one of those warm weather seasons, and just the pollen was everywhere. My window was open. I don't appreciate this. This. Okay, let's move on. Anyways, yes, Weightlifting Fairy, Kim Buk-chu, highly recommend. What was the other drama you were watching?
Move to Heaven. I really liked it, but it's like it's really emotional. I cried during every episode, like legit every episode. It was a lot.
Nice.
It just hurt, but like I think I did watch Squid Game like right in the beginning because I already planned to watch it before it like hyped up because I saw like trailers on like the Swoon's channel. And I think it also like shows like the current trend of K-drama, so it's getting darker and not as wholesome anymore. I don't know. All in all, Squid Game, it was a nice show. We like Sebyok.
Yes.
That's my takeaway.
Yeah. I do have a lot to say about Squid Game, but I do feel like it's a big endeavor for me to put a lot of mental thought and like academic structure to how I think about it. So I will just simply simp over the show in that I think all the characters are adorable, even in their deaths. And I think all of the layers of people are explored, and ultimately it's about the choice to do better, regardless of life situation. Yeah, I think that is my main takeaway and theme from the show. Yeah, not as exciting as a lot of people would probably expect, because if I did a deep dive on the show, I would probably do like a 10-hour like lecture on
Oh
it.
God.
So
I mean,
yeah.
it's a lot. There's like a lot of double meanings into like the plot and stuff. You could probably deep dive into it a lot.
Yeah.
But like on the surface, it's just a funny show, funny in quotation marks, to like just watch people die in those games, more or less.
Yeah. Well, the way I compare the show is to Parasite and its blending of genres, right? Where Parasite, there are moments of suspense and thrill, but there's also levity and comedy, but also kind of the harsh realities and the somber duality of class systems, right? And I feel like a lot of that is explored similarly in Squid Game, where it is light and funny in the choices of editing and music, and even expressions, but the overall scenario and situation that they're all caught in is very dark and heavy, and it's really about the choices you make in life that gets you to that point where you're literally fighting for your life and you're doing anything to pull yourself out of that situation. And what does that do? To eat away and corrode your sense of humanity, right? Okay, I said I was not going to do this, and yet here I am. Yeah, I've already like written like an analysis on the show, but I don't
Oh
know if
boy.
I'll ever like put it out, because again, it might be a 10-hour thing.
Publish it.
Yeah.
Just do a live stream. Just and then recorded.
And just
One
let
thing though, it
go.
was weird that classmates started to ask me whether I have watched Squid Game. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you watched that? That's weird. No, don't spoil me. I haven't watched it yet, please. Don't do that to me."
Yeah, I will say that's the strength of the show. It speaks to kind of the universal theme and the universality of that type of conflict, right? Where you're put in a situation, one where you're literally killing another person. This idea of survival of the fittest, but two, it's grounded in a lot of the family aspects in the very first episode. I would say the first 5 minutes of the show, you immediately know someone who is like that, who has this, kind, caring relationship with a parent figure, but is conflicted, is not perfect, who has a lot of flaws in life, but you are endeared to his situation, and I feel like that is something that people attach to right away, and then you're introduced to all the other characters very similarly, right? With regards to like other people watching it, I agree, it's just weird.
It's weird as hell.
Because it's, to me, it's still a K-drama, right? Like I appreciate and love the show that it is so globally accepted, but it's just really weird like seeing people like, oh, so this is what you like regardless of what am I saying, regardless of where it's from, right? Because I think like international media is still weird to me if it's not like niche groups of friends that I talk to. Yeah, I think it's just, I think it's overall awesome. I think it's great that they're making tons of money, and hopefully that just means more content and more stories being told in that vein. Yeah.
Yes.
God, I didn't want to do a Squid Games episode for a number of reasons. Not because like I don't love it, because I absolutely love it. It's just I don't feel like I could do it justice if I'm just talking about it for like 2 minutes. But I hope I got some messaging out there with Squid Game, because there's a lot of depth and layers to that show that I think, taken in as a full story, as a complete start to finish, works really well to hold up a mirror, be a reflection for a lot of the challenges we're all facing in modern society, in the modern world. All right. God, talking about Squid Game, that's the one thing I really just didn't want to do. And I've said that like 10 times now. But anyways, what I've been up to, I think the thing that like has completely consumed my life is just like this fall moodiness. So I finished Crying in H Mart maybe about 2 months ago now. But that book has emotionally sunk into every fiber of my being, of just like the depths of her experience. It's a memoir about her life in the 2010s, Japanese Breakfast, Michelle Zauner, and ultimately about her mother getting cancer and passing away, and the hardships behind all of that, the trauma that she experiences, how she's growing from it, and who she is as a person. It's a very real life story, in the sense that it's not this fairy tale happy ending. It's not this clear life lesson to be learned. It's more about the process of just experiencing life and the process of grieving, and again, it being a lifelong work in progress. With all that said, I've been listening to Japanese Breakfast for months now, specifically because of that book, and every one of her songs now means so much more. After reading that story and hearing how her songs are put together, the lyric choices, the organization of tracks, the titles, it's all very heavy and it's very powerful. She also released an OST for a video game last month, and I've been listening to that as well. The video game is called, let me pull it up, Sable. It's an open world game about kind of exploring coming of age and exploring growing up in this very like futuristic dystopian society. Everything is a desert, and she's exploring. It's actually very similar to Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I really hope I got that correct. Nausicaa. It's a Studio Ghibli movie back in the 80s, and yeah, it has very similar themes of the environment and kind of the world decaying because of our inability to take care of it and take care of the planet. I went on a long monologue. I was really hoping you were going to interrupt me and just ask a question. Koala, do you listen to Japanese Breakfast? Have you heard of Japanese Breakfast?
I have heard of them. I think because of KME. I'm I think he was the one in the server promoting them. I haven't had time to listen to them though. Because I'm still like stuck on music from like half a year ago.
Yeah, no worries. So the movie is called Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I think I got that correct the first time. 1984. So a very old Studio Ghibli movie. Personally, one of my favorites. I think like top two or three. Japanese Breakfast. She's Korean American. All her songs are in English. She's here in the United States, but she's toured everywhere in the world. And she speaks to this at the end of the book. It's not really a spoiler. It's more of just a perspective, and that she very much appreciates how fans that have come out to see her over the years have specifically told her it's really important that they saw someone of similar background and heritage do music, be successful, and kind of represent them in a lot of ways, whether they were Korean Americans, whether they were Asian Americans, or whether they were Asian people from other parts of the world. She has toured in Korea, in South Korea, and Southeast Asia. So yeah, I thought that was something very familiar and fitting with kind of my perspective and views of how I see representation and what it means to have the importance of messaging of people who look like you. Um, yeah, and I do think those things are really something to preserve. So yeah, Japanese Breakfast, Michelle Zauner, check her out. She's amazing. That has been my life for like the past 2 to 3 months. Aside from Girls Planet 999. But we're not talking about Girls Planet 999 today. All right. Well, we do have a music topic today. CL has released her first full length solo album. I think it's the first one, right? Yes, away
I
from
believe. So.
YG for her from her label. I have it written it down. Oh, Team Very Cherry. But she hasn't done a full album even with YG, right? She's done many albums, tracks here and there,
Mm,
right?
I think mostly singles.
Singles, yeah. All all very explores a wide range of her abilities, right? Whether she's rapping super hard on it, whether she's singing and killing it with her vocals. But this is kind of like an emotional release, an emotional coming to fruition, moment for her. I think for me, my first introduction to CL was with 21, of course, in 2012. Yeah, a lot of you probably weren't born yet. Um,
Oh my god.
my friend, my coworker, she really liked K-pop and was just really into like a lot of the internet, like cross culture, right? Whether it's K-pop or anime. I've mentioned this a number of times, but there's just a large cross section of people who like both. And she sent me the music video "I Am the Best," and I was like, whoa, this is wild. One, because like the sounds and the music was just not something I was expecting with K-pop. My experience with K-pop has been Girls' Generation the majority of my adult life. So then when 21 came through, it's like this like EDM with hip hop blend, with crazy fashion and choreography, and the girls are very like attractive, but they're also just like concept in a way where it's like an art piece. And I don't know, it's just something that stuck with me over time. What was your first introduction to CL and 21, Koala?
I don't even exactly remember it. Probably when I went down the YG trash hole. Like, Big Bang was my first introduction, so I would guess like maybe a year after that, so 2016. So about when Goodbye was released.
That's a
It
tough time to get into it.
I was like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't get too deep into them and just follow them solo wise. And then I followed like Theo and Dara and Minzy for the most part. Mm. And I think for CL, my first like real Realization was also back then when GD had his tour in South Korea, and she was also a guest there as an artist, and they were both performing. I think that's like one of the moments I remember the most. Since then, I've just been keeping up with her.
What is it about their music that stands out to you that's different from the typical K-pop sound?
It's like very, how do you say it? Is it trap? I don't know. It's like very hip hop trappy, and so it's like not the typical pop for most of her songs.
Yeah, there's a lot of blending of genres. I think K-pop does that exceptionally well, but I think with CL and YG specifically, they definitely lean towards the hip hop, right? They do experiment in a lot of different ways. 2010s to me was like this weird, like gelling of like hip hop as like the familiar sound, but because EDM was such a big thing in the 2010s, there was just a lot of like either dubstep or like electronic, just like really raw, like aggressive electronic. And I think that is kind of what sustained throughout 21 and CL's music over time. But to like currently in modern like CL, it's very much flipped to just hip hop and R&B. And I think she's been able to show a lot of musical ability, whether that's her rap or singing. People forget she's an amazing vocalist with a lot of her new songs here. All right, so she released Alpha this week. She's been releasing songs throughout the past few months, but we have the full album now. It kind of does tell a story of these two balancing forces in CL's life, right? You have the title Alpha, which is this very confident, aggressive fearlessness, but she does also talk about what it means to start over. Be at the beginning of something. Be at the start. I found an article yesterday. It was released yesterday on the 20th from Billboard. There's an interview with CL by Nolan Feeney, and they go into every single song. She gives a blurb, a concise summary of her thoughts and emotions and feelings about everything. At the very beginning, she talks about being multicultural and representing that in her music. And I thought that was very indicative of this idea of balance and merging two different aspects of your life. It kind of blends into a lot of the themes we talked about today about representation, being part of two worlds, cultures having influences in other spaces in our lives. Everything from Squid Game, coming into like your life in Germany, and Michelle Zauner being Korean American, and now we have CL here, who is known in Korea as this K-pop artist, but she sings, raps, and is very much an international icon in a lot of ways. We have done full track by track reviews in the past on this show. Today's not it. We are very casual today, so we're just gonna go through kind of our favorite songs on Alpha. I'm going to run through the track list 1 through 11, and then Koala is going to go into her vast depths of knowledge and kind of talk about which one resonates with her. So at number 1, we have Spicy. This song was released about a month ago, a little over a month ago, with the intro voiceover by John Malkovich. I thought that was excellent. Lover Like Me, the music video did come out recently. A very breakup song, but a very confident song. 2 new songs here. We have Chuck at number 3, Shy number 4, and then at number 5 we have Let It. Number 6 we have Tie a Cherry. The music video did come out for this as well. Number 7, Paradise. Number 8, My Way. Number 9, Siren. And number 10, Hua. And number 11, 5 Star. So these 2 songs were released as pre-releases several months ago with music videos to really set the table for this new CL, this reintroduction of CL, right? All right, Koala, I just rattled off 11 tracks. Which song stands out to you? Which one do you love the most?
Generally, I definitely like the more melancholy, slower, not really slow, but like compared to other songs, slower songs more. That's probably why I also like In the Name of Love, so her EP from like 2019 more than this whole album. Because that was definitely like, so there were some songs I can cry to. Oh god. And in this album, I think it's either Siren or Love It Like Me. Either of those two would be my favorite. It's because I really like the vibe. It's fitting to the season. It's not too much for my ears, and I can just chill with it.
Siren is an excellent song. It's very much a stripped down, chill, kind of somber song. In the article on Billboard, she gives a very nice one sentence concise summary of what her thoughts and feelings were about the song. I'm going to read it. Quote, it's about the emotions you have when you're trying your best in a relationship to not let the fire go, let the fire go out, but the signal is off. So with that just one sentence, she kind of captures the entirety of the song, where there's this conflict of trying to preserve love in a relationship, but also this realization that, like she said, the signal is off, and it just might not work. There's just a disconnect there. Um, was there anything about the song lyrically that you remembered or stood out to you that was kind of a reflection of the things you've experienced in the past, either directly or indirectly, whether that's in dramas or friends in relationships or just anywhere else you've seen relationships?
Thing is, I haven't looked at the lyrics, so I can't really. I don't remember a lot. Help. You're smart, Crispy. You can probably help me out. You also have a lot of experience in your 90 years of living. 100 years. 200.
Okay, first of all, thank you. 200 years of experience is quite the benchmark, and I'm glad that you appreciate that. Second, with Siren, no, I don't. I thought I wrote down the lyrics specifically for this one. I did not, but it does evoke a lot of visual metaphors about sirens going off at night and what does that mean to arrive at an emergency, right? Or in the sense of urgency with your emotions and your emotional state, right? Where you're in a relationship and everything is heightened. Me, from personal experience, I can tell you that when I've like broken up with someone or had those like very deep conversations, you drop everything, right? It can't wait till the morning. It can't wait until a couple hours later. If you get a text in the middle of something, you like, I'm hanging out with my family, I separate myself, I go take the phone call, or if it's 11 p.m. at night, I drive over and we talk it out. Sometimes to success where things are worked out, I can tell you, to sometimes to a lack of success where it just ends where we break up. And I think she does talk about that a lot in this song. I think that's a very familiar feeling and experience that a lot of people have had going through a number of relationship situations. So really nice that she's being vulnerable in this song and she's opening up. Also with the fact that it is a little bit of a slower, somber song. All right. My selection for favorite song, I was torn between two. So I'm going to name both of them. We can talk about. No, I'll name the first one with a little bit more detail, and then I'll name the second one with a quick overview. So the first song, my favorite song, number 4, which Shy, I think it's pronounced Shy. This song, to me, does a lot of really interesting things that I don't think I've heard CL do before in the past. Where it's slower, it's very intentional, but as far as the messaging goes, it's really about certain elements of guiding lights in your life, right? Where you're she puts herself in this duality of light and darkness within the lyrics, and it's really finding your own way, whether that's in the direction of your life or like threaded throughout this entire album. There's a lot of themes and aspects of love, and what does that mean to hide that from other people? For a number of reasons. With her specifically, because she's a celebrity, because she is in the spotlight. She's had to hide a lot of that. And what does that mean to now finally being able to, be more free with that expression? Koala,
Yes.
what did you think about track number 4, Shy?
I was the first thing I tried to listen to in the song is how you pronounce that word
I
because I wasn't sure whether it was like I don't know what I thought it would be, but I really wanted to know how to pronounce it. Like it could have been maybe sky something like that, but I think it's Psy. So like just, but I don't know what it means though. Do you?
It means
I have no
connection.
in in like Korean or
Yes, yes. I couldn't find specifically the direct translation, but I did read in an article that she does name that it's either a direct word for connection or it's one of those like indirect verbs. So it's really about like finding connection, and kind of this theme of like again like a lot of love and relationship within this song. So at least that's what I found. I mean, I could be wrong, but that was from something I read last night as well.
but that makes sense with the theme because my brain was like, okay, it sounds like Psy as in Gangnam Style. I need to push that out of my head. I'm sure that CL won't be talking about that. So, but okay, I like that song. Not like on my favorite list, but I do enjoy it. I think in general I need to give this album a lot more time because I it just for me the albums in itself it just takes a lot for me to slowly get into the songs and also like kind of also know how they sound like because I couldn't like hum you the melody right now, but I know that I liked it when I listened to it. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a long album, 11 tracks, all full like songs, all weaving a different story here and there. With I would say she blends genres a lot throughout this album. You're never stuck in any one like emotional state. It starts off very aggressive, with spicy, and then
Oh
it
god.
does trail into a lot of the somber, more chill like R&B songs. And then it hits you over the head again with a lot of the aggressive songs between Paradise and My Way. Um, yeah, it's a whole ride, right? And then even at the end, after Siren, after that kind of emotional touch point, we have Hua, which again was another aggressive song, and then it ends with 5 Star, which is like her like love track of just like this is what it means like for me to be in a relationship and to be happy. Shout out to DPR Ian, whatever that
Oh my
situation is.
god.
Yeah, I manifested that's happening, guys. Yeah, no, I think you spoke that really well about how the album does play as a whole. I mean, it is a lot to take in, but I mean, I love it. To me, because I've heard a lot of these songs already for the past year, I have to kind of parse through and listen to the newer stuff more. So I haven't actually had the time to listen to the entire album multiple times. But I think overall, it's definitely if you love CL, if you love songs like what are the titles? Koala. Oh, The Baddest, Hella Bitches, and MTBD. I could not find it on the script for a second. If you love those OG, just raw CL rapping, surprised vocals, but also she's an amazing vocalist. You'll love everything about this because this is all her. This is like 100% completely her creative control, with also kind of allusions to the fact that she was part of YG. Really quickly, I want to shout out track number 5 with "Let It." She talked about this yesterday, or whenever you're listening to this on October 20th, that this song is originally a 21 song. Bomb and Dara have recorded parts, and I think she played it on live. So yeah, if you do get those old school feelings of 21 with track number 5, "Let It," there's very much a reason for it. It does have a throwback a sound to it, but it's very updated to current hip hop and R&B, and it fits really well on the album.
Damn, that song is possibly older than some people on the server. than if it was meant
That
to be for
song might,
21.
yeah, is probably born before a lot of kids. So yeah. All right, Koala. Well, we did a nice little no celebration of CL, if you will. Anything else? Any closing thoughts about this album that stood out to you?
Not the album, but her fashion in the teasers. Her fashion in general, I can't pull that off. I don't think a lot of people can pull that off, but somehow she makes it work. It's like very also like that extraordinary 21 fashion thing that she's been always doing, but in this comeback, especially also with the hair, oh god.
All right, let's talk about the fashion a little bit. All right, so let me pull this up. So she recently released, she only a couple hours ago actually, the Alpha performance video, which is about a 12-minute compilation of 3 or 4 songs. In one of the songs, she's wearing a hoodie, like a sweater, and then like a puff jacket. Her bottom,
The blue one? Oh yeah, that one.
her bottom is a skirt, but it's frilled, and then she's wearing like a bikini. I don't even know how to put it. She's wearing essentially just underwear, right? But it's like underwear that you're like is meant for like being exposed. It's wild. It's the baby blue. If you haven't seen it, check it out. She's wearing a hoodie on top of it. So let me get your opinion on this. Explain, I guess, like from what you know about CL, like this style of fashion experimentation and why she's able to kind of pull it off so well.
I think it also just like displays her like creative mind a lot because I wouldn't get the idea to like wear, I don't know, is it fringes? Is it a skirt?
Fringes, yes, you know fashion better than
Something
I.
like that. I don't know fashion. But like it's always been like that, but because it's also like her styles are mostly like also colorful, so she's also like just styling a lot of colors that you wouldn't expect. And it just works with her because she has this creative and unique style to also like present it to the public. And I like respect that a lot. I'm not always confident with the outfits she's like putting out there, but I respect it.
Can you speak more to CL's fashion sense over the years? I know you said you got into them at 2016, but I even think like from that point on, she was still very prominent and noticeable with regards to her fashion choices. What is it about CL herself, in your opinion, that allows people to be more, how should I say this, more accepting of her fashion experimentation?
I think she's always also just always been this bold, and with her past songs, you can already buy like the singles, the baddest, like hello bitches and the baddest, and it just makes sense for her to have like this attitude, I would say. And I think you're not like shocked to see her trying out new stuff, and it just fits her personality and all.
That's a really good point you make. Where it kind of does feel like, and this is just me speaking from like a Western perspective and whatever translations I'm finding about how they're talking about CL. But like from what I've noticed is that it's just it's like you said, it's not surprising that she does it. It's more celebrated that she is able to kind of push the envelope, push the boundaries of fashion, in I wouldn't even say risque ways. I would just say very like artistic. Um, what comes to mind is the Met Gala outfit, the first one that she wore,
Oh,
right? Where the theme was America, I believe.
I think so. American fashion,
American
something like that.
fashion, right? I really couldn't pinpoint what it was, but then again, I don't know fashion, so it just this is me speaking from a very surface level point of view. Well, Koala, explain what that outfit looked like to all the audio listeners.
So I think her hair was in like buns for that outfit. And was it completely white? I I'm not was there am I mistaking it? Crispy, check with me.
I'm thinking it's white, but what comes to mind is like white and denim, but that could also be the theme of the Met Gala. Um,
The Met Gala was weird in general.
Yeah.
But like I think it was a white bottom and like a blue coat or something like
It
that.
was a denim top. It was a denim top that the visual is that it's tied together at the top, but it's like a large robe.
It definitely looked like weird, but it somehow gave off to me like royal vibes because that coat was like really big. And I don't know what those bottoms were. It was like some Alexander Wang, I don't know, diaper. It, but but it kind of worked. There were worse outfits on the Met Gala, to be honest. Like at least she was experimental. Rosie just had a plain black dress in
Yeah,
comparison, so yeah.
with the bow, adorable.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like looking at the outfit again. I really can't describe it. Like words can't do justice. Like you said, I think the royal aspect of it, with it being so long, having a train essentially, um, really draws your eye into like the entirety of the outfit. And kind of the shocking central point is, her bottoms. Some call it diapers, some call it briefs. Open to your interpretation. That is art. And then there's a video I'm watching right now where it's zooming into her face. Her makeup is on point. My God, this lady, who I don't know very much about makeup, but I do know when I see it, like the balance of how it's all put together. Man, CL's great.
This is simping hours with Crispy.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. All right, well, we've talked about CL for quite a bit. Let me ask you, Koala, how has music been for you this year over the past couple of months? There's been a lot of changes within music, but I do feel like, nearing the end of summer, me personally, I have stuck to only like a handful of artists and songs that I've really wanted to listen to. I've tried to keep up week to week with new music to varying degrees, but for the most part, I'm going back to things that are familiar. And I think actually like CL falls into that familiar because you and I have known her musically, listened to her music, and seen her as an artist for a number of years. So it does kind of feel like a coming home with this album. But what have you been listening to on repeat? Whether that's something from 6 months ago or perhaps something from 5 years ago when you were 12 years old.
So I like K-pop wise, I don't even know what I'm listening to. It I just put my playlist probably on shuffle, and the songs that I like newer would probably be like Twice the Fields and uh what is considered new? Stacy Stereotype, that's also a month old.
Are you
Oh god,
listening to STAYC?
I hate it. Stop it.
No, I'm serious. This is a revelation. Are you truly a Swith? Because it's been a bit. Not for me because I love STAYC, but I didn't know. Cool. Welcome to the party. It's quite nice
No,
here.
stop it. And I have like my random playlist where I just have most of the more melancholy stuff. So like Cashy and some 88 Rise and stuff, some more niche artists. And then I have another playlist that's from a friend. And that's about it.
Wow. Speaking of 88 Rising, they're popping off. I think largely due to Shang-Chi being a
Yes.
very prominent part of that OST. Um, and I think a lot of this hype is building up to their music festival, Head in the Clouds, in November, which is, I think, two.
Uh, we got it. You're going there. You don't
Oh,
need to brag
I'm
about
sorry.
it.
Totally. I forgot that I was going. I wasn't
It's
gonna bring it up. I
okay.
wasn't gonna bring it up, but you brought it up. Yes, in fact, I am going to the 88 Rising Head in the Clouds Music Festival at the beginning of November, the first weekend of November. Everyone is going to be there.
Wait, that's like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think November 7th. Yeah,
Oh my
it's
god.
it's gonna be a great time. CL is gonna be there. Speaking of, BB is
You will
gonna
be
be
such
there.
an influence on Instagram. Oh my god.
Well, I hate you. So okay.
You will meet all the celebrities backstage.
You know, I I hate her so much. Other notables, DPR Live and Ian will be there, so we're probably gonna get a collab.
I don't want to hear it. Oh, Ian and Sia.
Yeah, a collaboration stage with the happy couple. Hold on, can you talk a little bit more about that photo that was released maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where Ian and Sia are sitting next to each other in the recording studio? What was that?
Nothing new. They posted that kind of picture like a couple of months ago as well. So I'm kind of used to it at this point.
So they are
Uh,
dating.
they no clue. They don't need to say anything about it.
Well,
But
I thought you just
attractive people kind of find each other, I guess.
apparently. Oh, and some clarity on Lover Like Me. So she does talk about that song is a old YG song that she had for like, I don't even know the number of years, but just way before she left, and she basically dug it up and then repurposed it. Not repurposed it, but cleaned it up, polished it up for like modern use, right? So, um, for the most part, I think we can confirm that it's not about Ian. It's about a past lover. So there you go. Because it's a very old song, is from what she said. God, yeah, just a lot of interesting tidbits about this album, right? Like where she draws inspiration and how a lot of these songs are actually just like throwbacks to back in the day. I think that's why I attach myself so much to it, because it reminds me of the time when I was young, when I was 80 years old as opposed to 90. So yeah. Yeah, speaking of the 88 Rising festival is something I'm definitely looking forward to. My brain is going to just melt. BB will also be there. You guys know her?
Stop
You guys know
it.
her? She's great.
I'm so jealous. Why can't the thing is people slowly start to like release their tour dates now. So I don't have money. Stop it. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a conflict, right? Where it's like people want the world to open up, people want things to go back to some semblance of normalcy, tours, and yet we're all broke because of the pandemic in a lot of ways, because people weren't working. Um, yeah, it's just a giant conflict.
Are you going to the festival with friends? I haven't asked you that, I think.
Yeah, of course.
What?
I mean, no, I'm going alone by myself and like sneaking backstage to
Yeah, who
hassle these
knows?
artists.
Maybe they will pity you because you're 100 years old and then they will let you go backstage and like take a picture with CL
All right,
and
first of
maybe
all,
sign something from DPL Live for me and send it me to Germany.
all right, first of all, I will receive no pity, and second of all, because I'm 90, I get the this senior citizen access to all of these venues. So I get the secret like
Free pass.
entrance, that the fast pass, right? You go in front of
Yeah,
the line.
fast pass. I got this.
Yeah, because old people walk a little bit slower. I got my cane here. I'm hunched over, and I'm just social distanced. All those things. Yeah, take that. I'm
There
90.
will be a lot of mood swings though, because you also have like acts like Sori there. So and Grandpa will be switching between like rave feeling to crying.
Do you think she's gonna play the song she did with Geary Boy? That song is
W-
so angsty. My God, the newest one. Man,
We will have to see.
I love it, but man,
I hate it.
yeah,
Stop.
truly, it's hard like that. So the Geary Boy pronunciation, it's it's so angsty. There's just so much like, I don't know if it's angry emotion, but when I listen to it, I don't feel mellow. I just feel like very like worked up and like anxious. I'm just like, is he okay? Am I okay? What is life?
Is anyone okay? Probably no.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. It's a good album. Everyone, if you're in an emotional state to listen to that album, give it a try. The Ciori Check is my favorite song from that album, but it's a lot. So yeah. All right, Koala. Well, let's close things out. What are you looking forward to in the next coming months as life gets back to normal? I mean, you're back in school. Things are opening up. The vaccine, I think, is doing much better in Germany. The distribution of the vaccine.
I don't know. I haven't checked. I think I can sign up for the third shot, maybe. I would have to read into that first.
Really?
And something like that.
It,
Yeah,
it does seem to vary between countries and
a
international
lot.
spaces. Yeah. So the United States is pretty.
Be-
I wouldn't.
because
I wouldn't say
I
clear, but it's right now. It's 6 months to 8 months from the last time you got your second dose for Pfizer. Only if you are in a certain age bracket or if you're like immune compromised or in a working field that puts you in danger. Yeah. You were
yeah,
gonna say something?
I think there's like restrictions here as well, but if you like want to sign up and you call at a doctor, they will not care. They will just make you an appointment. That's what I heard like from my parents and their friends. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope that you guys are able to get it as well. 'Cause I know your family runs a restaurant, so you guys are in a high traffic, high people traffic situation. I could have just said that the first time instead of separating those two thoughts. It's still early in the morning here in California. It's a morning show today.
Oh
Um,
well.
yeah, things are getting back to normal. I think that is something to look forward to, and I think all of the friendships and relationships that we've made over the past year have helped a lot. I would say my adjustment period to normal things has been far better recently because I think I'm more socially competent than I would be otherwise. So yeah, I think that's definitely a plus. All right. Well, I'm going to ask you this. Prom.
Yes.
Tell me more. What is prom for you?
It's something I don't look forward to. Uh,
Explain to
but I'm
everyone what your anticipated outfit will be.
nothing. Just I won't attend. Just
No,
no.
the fashionistas want to know. So you are wearing like some like a dress. I don't know what it is specifically, but you also said you're wearing chucks with it because you are going to be a hipster about it.
Because I wanted to initially wear a suit, but that doesn't go right with my mom. So,
If you wore a
well,
suit to prom, you would be a legend. Let's be real.
I mean, a suit is also just easier to go to the restroom, for instance, and people will be drinking until 4 a.m. anyways. I
God,
don't
that's
know.
right. Germany and prom is a different situation than America. I mean, we would drink too, but we probably would be drinking uh more. What's it called? We would be more
Secretive. I don't know
secretive.
what you're.
Secretive. That's the word. I was looking
Okay.
for a very bigger word, but that simpler is better sometimes. Yeah, where you guys can just drink in the open because you guys can do that in Germany.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's good or not that we're legally allowed to. It will be a mess. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know when it is. May, April, June, something around that.
that's a wide range. That's a
I don't
three
remember
month
anything.
period that prom could reside in. All right, that's cool. Um, God,
But yeah,
what is
other than
time?
that, I don't know. I'm on break right now, but I want Christmas break to already come. I'm not even at school yet right now, and I'm already fed up with everything. Ugh. But
You're
like, yeah.
you're on break, but you're also doing like a ton of influencer stuff. So I don't know what you're
Mm,
talking about.
mm-hmm. I'm meeting up with friends tomorrow, and that's about it for the next weeks. And then I think like closer to like Christmas, we will go to a Christmas market. As always, but not a lot of events. It's just very sad life of a high school student in her last year.
Well, I'm sure it'll turn out just fine. And you were going to college. Have you decided
Oh
yet
god,
where you?
no! Let's
No.
not talk
All
about
right. Well,
that.
we'll save
Oh,
Soju Sessions college talk for a future episode. I'll spare you that for today.
stressful.
All right, Koala. Well, Koala, it was great having you back. It's been a couple of months since you joined any of the shows. I know you're busy with life. You're doing big things, and us small people here appreciate that you're able to make the time for us, and hang out and chat. Yeah. Anything you want to plug?
17's comeback will have happened when this comes out, so I remind all of you to check out the mini album. It will be great. I can already sense it. I have not listened to it yet, but just support my boys. Yes, and also like the Treasure comeback anytime soon. I don't know why Gina just.
Shout out to you and Nina for being the 17 stands and just making sure people are aware of it, because
Yes.
yeah, I think they get lost in the sauce even though they're one of the top boy groups.
Yeah, they're not that big represented in the server, but the server is girl group only basically anyway. So
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh man. All right. Well, Koala, it was a pleasure. We'll have you again on in the future. You could talk about college. You can talk about prom. You can talk about something. When Treasure comes back, we'll have you on, and we'll do you'll do a deep dive. I'll just be listening.
I can do a monologue.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Soju Sessions on the Soju Talk Nation podcast feed. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify or your preferred podcast platform, and continue the conversation on the Soju Talk K-pop podcast Discord. For Koala, this is Crispy, and this has been the Soju Sessions.